I mean, you named a lot of people, but I gotta ask you about Muhammad Ali, man. Come on, that's the
Oh
greatest
man,
fighter on earth in
it,
world history. What was it like just to even?
it was it because I missed a part there. What I missed was after the Blues Brothers, another friend of mine that I'd met on the show, we're still friends today. Um, because my parents and Ali were still neighbors, and I went to visit my parents, and I just pointed out, I said, "Oh, that's where Muhammad Ali lives," and she's looking at me like, "What?" I said, "Yeah," and she said, because she was a real filmmaker, film school, everything. She said, "We should make a movie about Muhammad." And I said, "Okay, a documentary." And he was about to go in the ring. He had just told me that he had signed to fight Larry Holmes. So I asked him, I said, "Well, could I put together a crew and follow you as you get ready for the Larry Holmes fight?" And he said, "Sure." So I made a documentary film about Ali's return to the ring to fight Larry Holmes, and it was a trip because the thing about Ali is we had a friendship that was based on nothing but our affection and admiration for each other. I didn't want anything from him. We were literally just friends, and he had a big entourage with all these people around him and all that. Well, I wouldn't be around when his entourage was there. I wouldn't be. I told him I don't want to be around that, you know. And I think that's also what made our relationship special. So we ended up with this really tight bond that, um, and I'm gonna text you something that I don't talk. I don't talk about it that much. A few people know about it, but it's one of those personal things, and it's about when he got sick with his Parkinson's. But I'm gonna send it to you. Okay,
Okay, okay.
and then and then you'll get why I don't publicly talk about that. But oh man, I that the guy was just amazing, amazing man.
Yes, indeed.
Just a wonderful person, and to be able to have just this one-on-one time with him was just incredible. I mean, and he was a big kid. I think Ali was maybe 20 years older than me, somewhere around in there. um, but he was a big kid. Wait a minute, he was 38 when he won the ring, so it's not, he's 12 years older. um, so it's it's hard to put into words what being around someone like that was like. Um, because in later years, I've come to really appreciate it. Living in the moment, it was just me and Muhammad Ali. So, but it was, like I said, it was just incredible, and I owe my career to him because it was my exposure to him that brought me into the movie industry. you know. And we stayed in touch up until it got to the point that he could not really communicate because of his Parkinson's disease. And his best friend was a guy named Howard Bingham, who was also a it's amazing still photographer. And my wife bought me this book for my 36th birthday, and it was a book of photography that Howard did on Muhammad. And I didn't know that Pam had bought it, and she sent it to Howard, and it came back, and Howard had wrote a nice passage in there for me, and I flipped over another page, and Muhammad had wrote a passage to me too in the book.
Oh wow.
So, like I said, we ran into each other a couple of times. I was in a bank in Chicago, and somebody grabbed me from behind, and I'm turning around like and it was him laughing his butt off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate you sharing that. Let me see. Okay, I wanted to ask you about one more person because looking at your resume, you worked with him extensively. You had talked about it a little bit earlier. A living legend, an icon, Fred Williamson. Man, I mean, he opened up so many doors for actors, particular black actors. You know what I'm saying?
I am married because of the hammer to this day. The hammer. I am married because of the hammer. And that's been 34 years.
Wow,
Man, the hammer. Oh man, the hammer and I shot all over the world. All over the world.
that's
Has
amazing.
taught me of even though I'd been doing all these big pictures, I learned the fundamentals of producing and directing from him because he wa- Fred is a one man wrecking machine. The cat knows everything. You know, we used to joke that we told a crew down in Florida once when they were acting and we said, you know what, Marvin and I one day we're gonna make a movie that we're gonna shoot it, we're gonna run the sound, we're gonna direct it, we're gonna produce it, and we're gonna act in it, just him and I. Because we don't need, he used to call them mullers. We don't need you mullers. We can do this on our own. And we would pick locations for movies by golf courses. What golf courses he had not played at in whatever city or country because he's a golf fanatic.
Wow,
So that's how we would pick where we're gonna go to shoot a movie. It was by
that's
golf.
smart.
And we literally shot in South America, we shot in the Philippines, we shot in Italy, and of course in the States.
Wow, that's
And,
phenomenal.
and we probably either talk or text once a month, even now. Even now, talk or text once a month. Yeah. And before the pandemic, we would see each other at least once a year. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah. But the hammer, yeah, they, there's still a lot of inequity in the industry because you look at somebody like Clint Eastwood, who pretty much does the same thing, and then you look at Fred Williamson. Fred should have been given a studio deal like, Clint Eastwood has had a studio deal at Warner Brothers for 50 years. And he can just dream up anything and they give him the money for it.
right.
And I would say those two guys are on the same level as far as talent wise and all that, but the industry recognizes one and not the other. And I've always felt that Fred has never gotten his proper recognition for what he's done in the industry. The amount, every black actor that, I mean, I've worked with everybody from Richard Roundtree to, I mean, name it. Black actors, I've worked with them because of Fred, because he would give people chances, give them stuff, and it wasn't just on the acting side. Cinematographers, we jump started more careers for cinematographers, for stunt people, you know, for sound. We all over the country we jump started all these careers, and like I said, I don't think that he's ever gotten his just due for that.
Yeah, man, you make a great point, man. He definitely should be more recognized
And he's
because
still
he's
out there.
capable. Right, right.
And
I
I
just
get
seen
a
an
call from
interview
him,
with him.
and I say, "Well, Hammer, where you at?" "Oh man, I'm in Greece. I got 2 weeks on this movie." And he's 86.
Wow, still looking good. I seen an interview with him recently, man.
That
86. He don't look
that- I
86.
know that the Hammer is my boy. That is my main man. That is my main man. And we worked all the way up to um, because his pictures were I I moved on because I was doing bigger pictures and doing studio pictures and all that. But our friendship and everything endured. But just as an artist, you know, um, you you know you step up your game. You step.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But that's inspiring. I mean, like you say, you get to travel to the Philippines and South America and Europe to do what you love to do, get paid, make great artwork,
And
and meet.
we only worked. Fred did not work more than 10 hours a day because movies are notorious for 16, 18 hours. The Hammer, we get to 8 hours. We've shot everything we want. Fred would say, I'm gone. Say, you can stay here with the crew and shoot whatever you want. You know what we need, but I'm gone. And
Yeah,
just leave.
Right. I can imagine him saying that.